This article here is called Inside Johnny Depp's New Life in the UK, and it gets into what Johnny's doing now and possibly what he might do in the future. And I've been wondering what Johnny's up to, and apparently they got some details here. After moving out of the late Jeff Beck's Sussex house, the Hollywood star is going on tour and planning a bumper sale of his art. Let's see what we got. By the way, this is from February 18th, 2023, so it's pretty new. Johnny Depp is famed as the bad boy of the film world, but as he starts on the comeback trail after toxic court battles with Amber Heard, his former wife, Depp has shunned Hollywood. Instead, Depp is living in the UK, plans a bumper sale of his art, and has found stability from a perhaps surprising friendship with Alex Cooper. Depp, 59, will re-enter the limelight with a sellout tour with rock legends including Cooper, who is a devout Christian, teetotal, and has been married for 46 years. That's very interesting. Didn't know that about Cooper. And they say here that he owns property in Los Angeles, but he's pretty much abandoned the US. For the last several months, he's been living in the home of his great friend Jeff Beck, the guitarist and former member of the Yardbirds. But after Beck died last month at 78, Depp moved to London and is flirting between hotels and staying with friends. Sounds like an adventure. I don't know, man. I think maybe Johnny might be like me and just permanently move away from the US. That's what I did. Depp also spent time at Beck's home in Wadhurst, East Sussex during the coronavirus lockdown when the pair recorded an album called 18 because that is the age they felt when they played together. Last summer, the film star was spotted visiting a wildlife rescue center in nearby Tunbridge Wells where Beck was a patron. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like something Johnny would do. You know what? I believe it. A source close to Depp said, "The hubbub and craziness of LA and New York can be exhausting. As much as London and Paris are busy, thriving cities, Johnny still feels he can relax and be creative there. He has always loved Europe and people love him there. He feels very at home there and finds the European lifestyle a bit more his speed." And they go on to mention that Depp is going to be more into music than movies. We know he's got a couple of movies lined up, but he's going to be on tour with the Hollywood Vampires. They mention a few details about that. Who's in the band? I know Joe Perry from Aerosmith, and obviously Alice Cooper. They say he'll be rehearsing in the spring, and they give some other details, how they met and stuff like that. And then they have a quote from Johnny, which says, "I didn't sing. I still don't sing. I never wanted to be the front man." Depp told The Times in 2018, "I wanted to be the guy who stands just away from the lights," but he sings Heroes as the front man, which is a David Bowie cover some of you guys might know. Kind of a good song. Kind of like that one. Depp has dealt with substance abuse, which is unnecessary. Don't really need to talk about it. We know. He's done stuff. Many of us have. Let's keep going. Depp's friend said, "These people are his heroes. He's like a junior partner. They are legends and they have been through bad times and addiction and are now clean and living their best life," the friend said. "When I saw Johnny with them and we came across other legends, he was sitting there listening to old stories from them with a huge grin on his face." Now, the thing is, Johnny is a legend in his own right, and Johnny is bigger and more famous pound by pound than Alice Cooper and Joe Perry, but they've been in the music business and played around a lot longer than Johnny, and they've got different experience, so I could see how Johnny looks up to them. Obviously, they're not in movies. That's off the table, but from the lens of purely music, then I could see how Johnny feels like that. Then they go on to say that Depp was cast as a pariah in the entertainment world when Amber Heard called him a wife beater and the London court said it was substantially true. But what they also say is something Amber fans love, but it's not on their side. It's on Johnny's side, and they say the tide started to turn when he successfully sued Heard for libel in America last year over a Washington Post article in which she claimed to be a victim of domestic abuse. Heard has agreed to pay Depp $1 million, which he plans to donate to charity. Of course, we knew that. They mention that Heard promised to donate her divorce settlement, but that legal proceedings prevented that. Well, we heard that sad story before, and it looks like this article is pretty pro Johnny, by the way. Unfortunately, I clipped it out real quick. I forgot who published it, but I've never heard of them. Then they go on about his NFTs, in which he raised $800,000, and of course, that went to charity too. And they end with this. A friend of the actor said he's got his life back. For so long, he didn't have it because things were tied up in litigation, so he couldn't really do anything, and he wanted to be respectful of the process. He feels he's able to do what he loves, make music, make art, make movies. So basically, what I didn't realize was he's still in Europe and not really planning on going back to the US and living there. So that was new to me. I wasn't exactly sure where he was. Didn't realize he was living in Jeff Beck's house for so long. I learned that from the article. So all in all, kind of a cool little article here. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'll have some videos on Manson, maybe even Eve Barlow coming up really soon. If you subscribe here, I'll be happy about it. If you don't subscribe, I'll be pretty sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.